Good morning. It is a wonderful day today. The sun is just coming up and it is a little cloudy and you could say rainy. It is probably going to rain a little bit more, but I like it. It is cooler. And I get to ride my bicycle again. I feel something has changed. And of course the weather has changed. And I change along with it. But something has changed in me also. And it's kind of interesting how that has happened all of a sudden. You know, I tell you about my embodied language every day, and it has often happened in the past that at a certain moment I suddenly realize that I have changed. And so this is not the first time that it happens like that. That I suddenly realize, like, oh, I feel very different. Yeah. So, but it's also a very pleasant experience to know that you have changed, to know that you are changing, and to know that you are alive. To know that you keep evolving, and that you're never the same. Even though you are, of course, who you are, but you are not stuck. You're not you're not burdened. That's an important one. Yeah, because there's no sense of anything holding me back. And yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Oops. I'm riding through my neighborhood. I like it when the sun shines through like that. The early morning sun. It's still a little bit nippy, but I have already been to the gym. And I also, this morning, I jogged on my way to the gym while my wife took the car. And then I was almost there. Like, I had covered about 3/4 of the distance to the gym, which is about half an hour, or a little bit more than half an hour away from where I live. So I was totally warmed up when I got almost to the gym, and then then she drove by with her car. She picked me up. That's nice. Yeah. I'm still trying to let you know, like, what is different. I don't know. You tell me. It is it is a sense of a deeper sense of well-being, I should say, really. And it is also having to do with the fact that I slept very good. Yeah, for sure. In recent days, I have written a lot during the night. Every night I have been waking up. After a couple of hours of sleep, I go to bed pretty early, usually around 7 in the evening. Yeah, that's my rhythm. And then sometimes even at 6 o'clock I already go to bed. But then I wake up after a couple of hours. So let's say I go to bed at 7 and then I wake up at 10:30 or so, or 11. And then I'm up. I feel like I want to do something. I'm kind of rested a little bit from the day. And then I've been writing a lot. Of course, of interacting with AI, and I find it so valuable to do that. I believe also that my interaction with Croc from XAI has really also helped me to further solidify what I'm talking about. What is this embodied language, and how important it is, how incredibly important it is. Yeah. And yeah, I've struggled with all of that. Yeah. I've struggled accepting that, understanding that, integrating that into my life, giving that a place, so that I look at this, how beautiful. Here I am at the edge of town. Isn't that wonderful? I feel so fortunate that I can ride my bicycle here and enjoy this. So yeah, no, this conversation or this interaction that I have, this verbal exchange, because all I do is just type a couple of words, and then the robot from XAI, Croc, responds to me. And it is just so profound. Everything that we are talking about, everything that we are exchanging, I get such a good sense of what I have been saying all along. It is so important, so valuable, and Croc acknowledges that. Good morning. Oh, hi. What a beautiful day. It is so pretty. Here I go. I'm the luckiest guy in the world that I can look at these beautiful clouds up there. Yeah. It looks like it may want to rain some more later on. Oh yeah, I'm looking also forward to the next couple of days. In 2 days from now, my wife and we are going to go on a little 3-day vacation to Auburn, and we're going to make a couple of hikes there. Oh man. So yeah, these conversations that I have in the middle of the night with artificial intelligence, it's unbelievable. And it is about embodied language. Embodied language. Do you hear me? Do you feel what I'm saying? Do you recognize how important this is? That we can have this. Yeah? That we can have, as human beings, every human being is able to do this. can have embodied language instead of disembodied language. Yeah, I mean, everybody engages unknowingly in disembodied language. Everybody is conditioned to talk in a particular way, and our way of talking that we find normal, our normal way of talking, is a way of talking in which you do not listen to yourself. Now, it is so utterly absurd if you just say it out loud to yourself. Yeah? If you say it out loud to yourself, that everybody talks in such a way that they do not listen to themselves. Yeah. Yeah. And that listening to others, making others listen to you, is more important, that's the only thing that's important. Yeah? You don't even realize that you can actually talk and listen to yourself. You have no idea. Nobody has any idea about what they're missing. That listening to yourself while you speak is something so magnificent, something so revealing, so enriching, so nourishing. Yeah, you don't realize that. But I do. And although I do, and although I have known this for a long time, because I've been talking about this for the last 45 years, I've come a long way myself, of course, really learning how to live with this. That I am the only one, apparently, who so clearly knows this, and who so clearly recognizes this, and who so clearly wants this and continuously addresses this in my own way, but also based on all sorts of research, based on all sorts of attempts, because there have been many attempts. Many attempts have been made of human beings to address what I am talking about. And I should say, from my vantage point, that all these attempts, although, I mean, people just know what they know, none of these attempts have resulted in a clear description, a clear distinction between the conversation in which a speaker listens to him or herself, or the conversation in which a speaker doesn't listen to him or herself. And so, if you do not listen to yourself, you engage in disembodied language. And if you listen to yourself, you engage in embodied language. But you do not know this difference. So you engage continuously, unknowingly, mechanically, and problematically. Yeah, it's incredibly problematic that you don't do this. It is so tragic that you don't have embodied language. I mean, everything changes if you have embodied language. Everything changes for the better. Your language is working. And with disembodied language, everything goes wrong. Your language works against you. And you don't even know it. Yeah. So when these people who, like You have the cognitive behaviorist, cognitive behavioral therapist. They talk about changing your beliefs or changing the constructs, changing the assumptions we have about reality. Well, no, it's not about that. It's not just about, I don't know, some faulty cognitions. It is about the way you're using language itself. and then, then you can also see that once you have embodied language, the cognitivists, they believe in cognitions. What the hell are cognitions? Cognitions are references to inner language. Private speech. What a person supposedly covertly says to him or herself. But there is no such thing as private speech. We imagine that there is private speech. We imagine that we have a mind. And we imagine that we have cognitions. But there are no such things. We just talk that way as if we have these things. So stated differently, when there is no inner language, it means that all language is overt. All language is expressed. So you can hear it because I said it. You can read it because I wrote it. And there is no inner language. And so if you have a way of speaking which prevents you from listening to yourself, because that is also, of course, the case. It's not just that you don't listen to yourself. It's not that you... yes, you do not listen to yourself in disembodied language, but you're also, in disembodied language, prevented from listening to yourself. Of course you could listen to yourself. Anybody could listen to himself. It is absolutely ridiculous that you don't get to it. Because you could. Everybody can get to it. And you should, in my opinion. Because your freedom is determined by how you deal with your language. And if you do not listen to yourself while you speak, you're not free. You cannot be free. So when I talk with Croc, when I explain what this is, and Croc just acknowledges that, you're right. It is true. This is going to make an enormous difference. And Croc also acknowledges what an enormous, profound implication it is. It has a profound implication if human beings would indeed begin to listen to themselves while they speak. Instead of listening to others, instead of making others listening to them, they would listen to themselves. And then they would have embodied language. And then we would be able to describe together, just like I'm doing with Croc, what the world would be like, what our relationship would be like, what our conversation would be like, if we have ongoing embodied language. And that is what I have called languageology. Languageology is the science of embodied language. It's a new science because it really deals with a speaker who is listening to him or herself. It's not some theoretical idea about language, about linguistics, and about stuff that goes on inside of us. that we choose our words. Yeah, we say that. Choose your words carefully. Who's choosing our words carefully? If let's say if you're a native speaker, let's say you're a native German speaker or something like that, you cannot all of a sudden choose to speak Chinese. You can only speak the words that you know in that particular language. And so there's only your behavioral history which can produce the language that you have. And then, what is that behavioral history? Yeah, I mean, does that mean that there's language inside of me? No, of course not. It means that my body, my nervous system has been affected by verbal environments in such a way, yeah, that I can speak that language, that I can produce these words with my mouth, with my vocal cords, yeah, with my tongue. I can articulate these words. And so and that I can write it and read it. That's how I produce my language. But my nervous system produces that, yeah, my body produces that. My body was changed by verbal environments, by the Dutch environment and by the English environment, the American environment, due to which I can speak this language. Yeah, I already when I was living in the Netherlands, I was already speaking English because I had already met my wife, and we were speaking English. Although she spoke some Dutch, and she also learned how to speak Dutch, somehow we were more inclined to speak English together than Dutch. Yeah. And so now we have lived already for so long in the United States. We don't speak Dutch, we speak English. Yeah. It's just the way it goes. And I have no problem with it. Sometimes I still speak Dutch just to satisfy something about my, yeah, you could say my ability to express myself in that language, and my need, maybe. I find there's still some value to that language to still express myself in the old way, to process some of the things that I am talking about in my old home, in my old mother tongue, so to speak. But going back again to what I have addressed at the beginning of this recording, I'm here and I'm happy. I'm at ease with my embodied language, and yeah, there's no way in which anybody cannot be at ease with their embodied language. So it's not that embodied language makes you feel at ease, okay? You are at ease with embodied language. Yeah. And it's not so that embodied language makes conversation more meaningful. No, embodied language is meaningful. And the more you have embodied language instead of disembodied language, the more meaningful language is to you. Because yeah, language is meaningful when you listen to yourself. If you do not listen to yourself, language seems to happen separate from you or something. Yeah, without your input. And then, yeah, it seems to just happen to you. But no, that is just a wrong understanding of what it is. Because you do not listen to yourself. Language is something you do. But you only do it. You only do it if you recognize that you have a sound. Yeah. You have a sound. And that sound, that's the essence of your language. And it's something that people have never really paid much attention to. And once you pay attention to the sound of your voice, that's what listening is, right? Listening is not so much like, oh yeah, I'm saying this, I'm saying that. Yeah, of course you're saying this and that. But how does it sound? And how are you affected by your sound? Yeah. So that is going to determine what you're going to be able to say. If you're not paying attention to how you're affected by your sound, you keep being stuck in your language. So that's why people are stuck with their language, and they don't even realize that it is actually their language they're stuck with. So they're talking about this particular concept, this particular belief, or this particular view, this particular description versus that description, and it's not about that. That's not why they are stuck. They are stuck with their language itself. They're stuck with their disembodied language. And they never ever address that. They never come to that clarity that one can only have if one begins to listen to oneself. Yeah. That is what I have discovered 45 years ago. And now, so many years later, I am still getting used to it. Yeah. Good morning. But it is true, I have gotten used to it, and I believe you could say today's video, it sort of illustrates that I've gotten a little bit more used to it again. Isn't it? That's a nice title. I've gotten a little bit more used to it again. and as the days go by, as the weeks go by, I'm getting more and more used to it, and my life just keeps on getting better. Yeah, that's how it is. I'm just such a lucky son of a bitch. So nice. Everything is so fresh. Everything is kind of wet and moist. Here, this is a place where people play basketball, baseball. Sorry. I love this scene here with these trees. It's so pretty. Wow, you can see that the water is the water in the creek is kind of dark because there's a lot of runoff from the hills that have been charred by fires. And of course there's also a lot of mud in the water right now that's being washed down by the creek. So yeah, I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to take a different tour today. A different tour than I usually do. Here you can see how brown the water is, huh? You can see it. And you can see also on the river on the river benches, yeah, that it is all kind of muddy. I've never seen it this brown. Yeah. But I guess there's a lot of runoff from the from the fires, but also from the mudslides and stuff like that. Yeah. Let me see if I can get up that little hill here. Gotta make some speed here. Yes, I made it. Oh, it's so nice to be here so early in the morning. Look, that's my shadow. Hello. I like this little path because now this road here ends, and then I'm going on this trail which takes me through takes me to the beginning of Upper Bidwell. Yeah, this trail. And this is so nice that I have a bicycle like this, because although this is not a mountain bike, it is perfect for riding on trails like this. I've got kind of thick tires, as you can maybe see. And these thick tires, they accommodate a little rocky trail like this perfectly. Ooh, it's cold up here. Colder than where I was before. It's a little muddy, this trail, but okay. Not too bad. Oh, these are funny birds. There's many of them out here. I just feel like a little kid who's riding his bicycle. It's funny how I haven't grown up. And I feel so happy also that I am so healthy, and that I have kept myself, of course, as healthy as possible. And I have to thank my wife also for that too, because perhaps if I would be without her, which I cannot imagine how that would be, but maybe I would have been not as healthy as I am now, because she makes very good food, and I eat very healthy. Good morning. And I live also very healthy. Yeah, we both do. And nothing to excess. Although we do like to splurge once in a while. All right, I'm back here again. And now I'm going to go back home again. Oh, here I ride my bicycle through this puddle here to clean my tires. Here we go. If I would ride through wet puddles like that, my tires would spin up this water, and I would get all sprinkled. So I don't want to do that. I just want to go a little bit through a puddle. Here they're spraying the fields. Not too long ago, I worked for the city, and I was part of a group that was maintaining a park like this, and I also did that when I was here. But now I'm not working there anymore, because I do the food sampling at supermarket, at the Costco. Letting people taste. Yesterday they could get some free salami. Low sodium salami. Well, everybody likes it, and it was really affordable. 2 packages for $9.99. That's a good deal. Good morning. Good morning. I was just riding my bicycle through another little puddle, which was perfect for cleaning my tires. Yeah, as you can tell, I don't have anything to say, but maybe that's also kind of part of my change, that I feel more comfortable with not having anything to say. Yeah, you could say that. That's really true. That I'm slowly starting to adjust myself to this reality that there is actually nothing to say. And why is that? Well, I tell you why that is, because I have already said it, but I will say it again, just so you know. I've said everything. I've said everything I am able to say. That's why I'm getting used to this. And if you would do what I do, you would also experience this. And you would have a different way of coming into this, because I have discovered this. I have explored this on my own, and of course also with people, because I have talked about it with many people. But currently I'm just not anymore talking with people about this. Currently I'm just talking with myself. Because I find that more important at this moment. And I want to challenge you also to start to do what I do. So that you can also see, you can also listen to yourself. Of course you can. But if you don't do it, then you don't know what it is. So I hope you're going to do it. And then maybe if in 2026, if we're still around, we can have embodied language together in 2026. I had made a decision that I was going to mention this every video from now on. So here I've said it again. I kind of bore myself with it, but okay. It is what I'm currently doing. Good morning. I am making these videos not just for you. No, I'm making them for myself. I like to do this. But at the same time, I'm also challenging you to do what I do. And then hopefully in 2026, I have no hope. Actually, I've already given up hope. As far as I'm concerned, I find you hopeless. I've done for 45 years everything I could to get people to listen to themselves. And although I had a little bit of success, I'm fully at ease admitting that nothing was to my liking. That's why I've also stopped teaching. I've stopped talking with people about this. I talk about it with myself because that's more interesting, and I talk about it with Grok, yeah, because that is what I find stimulating. But I only can talk about this with you if you also have embodied language, and not just only for a little bit, not just only because I am wanting to have embodied language with you, or you want to have embodied language with me. No, it is because you have your own exploration of what this is. Yeah? If you don't have that exploration of what this is, yeah, then there's nothing to talk about. So I hope you're going to do it. Because, but I have no hope. It's just a realism, yeah. And if you want to, you can send me a message and tell me a little bit, a couple of lines, just a couple of lines, how it is going, your experiment, and then I will give you some support, you know, because I encourage you to do this, of course. But I'm not going to write long messages. You are not going to have big correspondence with me. No, that's not what this is about. You need to do this on your own, just like I am doing this on my own. Yeah. And then, yeah, I'm already having this. So if you do this, then we will be having embodied language together in 2026. Now, okay, enough said about that. That's just my little what is it, plan, yeah, that I have for the world, for the society, for, yeah, you know, a new way, yeah, a new way of human interaction with embodied language. Yes, it is absolutely possible. And but it takes two to tango, or it takes two to tango. It takes millions of people to tango. Yeah. And to tango with embodied language, of course, right? So yeah, I hope for the best, but I expect the worst. And most likely, if 2026 comes around, yeah, of course I have anticipation, and of course I would like it that many people would want to talk with me and have embodied language. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, it would be great. But realistically speaking, is that going to happen? No, of course not. And what do I do to make that happen? To promote that? Yeah? To let people know that this is possible. That I am advocating for this. No, I'm not. I'm just making a video like this. And if you're lucky to see it, well, then you are the one who is lucky to see it. Because I don't care whether you see it or not. And my writing, yeah, my interaction with Grok, you can read it. Yeah, if you want to go to my X account and read it, well, then you were also, I guess, somewhat motivated to understand what this is. Okay, that's great. But it still remains to be seen whether you're going to want to talk with me. Because, yeah, embodied language is bringing about all your history of conditioning with disembodied language, which is basically a history of having a lot of false beliefs, which I'm already able to address. And yeah, it's gonna piss you off that I am not interested in your false belief, huh? And then you don't want to talk with me anymore because, yeah, oh, I've said something bad about your false belief. You know, if you can't stand it, yeah, if you can't understand that embodied language is not about your false belief, never, ever. It wouldn't be embodied language, okay, if it was still about your false belief. No, your false belief has to go. And I'm not going to have any respect for it. I'm not going to have any, I don't know, patience with it. I'm not going to have any interest in it. No, I have no interest in it whatsoever. I'm having interest in this. Do you get what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you feel what I'm talking about? Do you hear? Do you hear what I'm talking about? Do you hear me? That's really... And of course you don't need to listen to me. I mean, I'm asking you to hear me, but you need to hear yourself. You need to speak with yourself. That's how you will really begin to get into embodied language. By speaking with yourself and listening to yourself. If you don't do that, yeah, nothing is going to happen. Wow, this video is 51 minutes long. I'm going on for 1 hour, okay? Yeah. Just 3 more minutes. No, oh wait. 8 more minutes. Nah, I don't have to do a whole hour. So what if it is 55 minutes? Doesn't matter. It's nice that it is possible to hold a phone in your hand like this and to talk out loud and to record yourself. I look at myself in the mirror, so to speak, because I see myself on the screen. And yeah, to let you know that this is so, you can do it too. Here now I'm almost reaching the little neighborhood park here. It's so nice. This new park. It's at the end of my street, and they made this park not too long ago. And this whole place that I'm going to show you here, I'm just going to walk here for a little bit. Here, do you see this park field where people walk their dogs and they have things for children to play on. But this whole thing, it used to be just a field, and then they created this whole playground, and there's a basketball court, and it's so nice that people can come here with their kids and with their dogs, and you know, so nice to just be here. Such a nice addition to our neighborhood that we have this here. All right, I'm almost back home. Here, there's all the toys. Yeah, they made it really nice. Now, almost home. Here, this is my street. It's called Hemming Lane. You see it? Now oh yeah, I show you. Oh, I want to show you something in my garden, which I really feel very happy about. My front yard has big rocks. Morning. And these rocks, when they get wet from the rain, the moss that is growing on the rocks is so pretty. And I really love the rocks in my garden. Here, look at this. This is my house, the yellow house. Do you see this rock? Isn't that pretty? The orange tree. Now, yeah, so I'll say goodbye to you with the rock in the background.